you breathe purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors? Now, time for the most in-depth look at the world of ECU athletics. Welcome in to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Now, here's your host, Stephen Igo.
Welcome in. It is Hoist the Colors on a Tuesday, March 18th edition of the show. It's game day for East Carolina baseball. The Pirates will take on the UNC Wilmington Seahawks. They're going for the sixth consecutive win. That game will be starting 6 o'clock. We'll have the coverage for you on 94.3 The Game because they're playing in Fayetteville in Segra Stadium. There will be no television, so you can listen to it here. Dylan Johnson and Coach Gary Overton on the call. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. We'll preview that matchup. We'll also get more into the NCAA tournament. We'll take a look at some of our favorite games. Obviously, discuss North Carolina getting underway tonight in action in the first four. Can the Tar Heels make a run despite the controversy of them getting in? We'll discuss that and a whole lot more. Later in the show, we'll also welcome in ECU shortstop Alex Bouche. Now, full disclosure, obviously the team is going to be heading to Fayetteville this afternoon, so we recorded this on Monday, and so we really appreciate Alex stopping in. We have a couple of segments with Alex, and we talk about his story starting at South Central, going to Old Dominion, what led him to East Carolina. He's a roommate of Dixon Williams, who is a former Conley Viking rival of his, so we get into that as well. So Alex Bouche coming up here in a little bit. Philip Pilkington is behind the glass. He is producing today's program. Philip, how are you doing on this Tuesday? Is this the official start of March Madness for you? For me, it really has to be that Thursday, but I guess this is a decent appetizer.
Thursday is the official start of the NCAA tournament for me. March Madness for me starts the Saturday that Duke and Carolina play their final regular season game, because that next day, that Sunday, is when you get a lot of those mid-major conference tournament championships. And some of actually the best moments of March are watching those young men from those those small conferences come up and punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. A lot of times those games do come down to the wire, and I like to watch those. I mean, look, let's be honest. Yes, the greatest 2 days in sports probably are this coming up Thursday and Friday, because it's a little easier to follow. You know exactly there's going to be 4 games, then 4, then a little bit of a break, and then 4 and 4 more. But, man, you can't say the conference tournaments aren't March Madness. The problem is you have like 18 games going on at one time. And, for some of these guys, it is like winning a national championship just to make the tournament. And everything that they do Thursday on is just a bonus. And obviously we pull for those teams, and they bust our brackets. But, yeah, man, I say March Madness has been here for a couple weeks. But, yeah, the NCAA tournament starts Thursday at 12:10, and I'm sure we'll have a few screens up here in the studios as we're doing the show.
No doubt. There's nothing like those. Really, the whole first weekend from Thursday through Sunday, but the first round, obviously, the round of 64, because we have these first rounds that are 1 or 2 games now, including in the American Athletic Conference tournament. But that is another story. Yeah, the madness has been underway, but it truly gets mad this Thursday for sure, as it'll get underway. So we'll talk about North Carolina a little bit later. Let's start with East Carolina, close to home. By the way, and we're not going to dive into spring football right on this show, but I just want to make people aware we are 1 week away, Philip, from ECU spring football starting. And it can kind of get lost in the shuffle with March Madness, with baseball. But I think this spring is going to be like one of the more intriguing springs in some time, because last spring was intriguing too due to the turnover of the roster. But new full-time head coach, new coordinator on defense, a lot of new pieces. So we'll have a lot to talk about starting next week.
We will. This is going to be really, really interesting. We always talk about the first scrimmage and how defense always wins it. Well, the offense is the one with the continuity. Like you said, there's not only with the coordinator, but with the personnel. Now, with that being said, who's going to be under center this spring? We know that it sounds like Caton Hauser will be the starter for the East Carolina Pirates when they make that trip to Raleigh on August the 28th. However, he is not going to be available for spring football. He's still coming off that surgery on his throwing hand, so we would expect, obviously, Jake Garcia to very much be the guy, but you have Raheem Jeter, you have Cole Hodge, who had to delay his enrollment, but I believe he is enrolled as of this spring, right?
He is, yep.
Yeah, and then
He's
there's who's the freshman I'm missing? There's another freshman coming in as well.
Chasten Ditto from Texas.
Yeah, and so you got these really three guys. I mean, Jake's going to be the one, but who emerges as that next guy? Because unfortunately, in football, these guys are one play away from being the backup, and I know that means they're 2 plays away from being the starter, right? So we need to see. I think that Jake will be the number 2, but who emerges as that next guy, and that's going to tell you who's going to emerge going forwards once we, obviously, Jake and Caton run out of eligibility eventually, which, with the NCAA, that could be when they're 75, but they're going to run out one day.
Yeah, I'm already getting confused, and this is completely off topic. Well, I guess it's kind of going off what you said, but I keep seeing all this talk on social media about players are going to transfer from school A to school B with the basketball portal open, and I swear 95% of the players being mentioned are out of eligibility, but I guess it doesn't matter at this point, Philip. It's just fans are just going to speculate that these players have unlimited eligibility. Like somebody was saying Javon Small is going to transfer to wherever the West Virginia coach is going, I think Indiana. And I'm like, isn't Javon Small out of eligibility at this point? The dude has been playing college basketball for 5 years. So, if he has eligibility left, we might as well try to get R.J. Felton back for another year.
I agree. But remember this time, well, not this time last year, but it was this time in relation to baseball season last year. And all of a sudden we're seeing Cam Clonch's name hit the portal. And we're like, Cam Clonch is in the portal. Cam Clonch is 25 years old. I don't know. I think there's this weird extra year you get to go to JUCO. So maybe they'll transfer down and go down to JUCO. But it sounds like even with these new weird rules, you're still going to have 4 years of D1 eligibility. So, I do not see Javon Small playing another year of college basketball. Obviously, he got snubbed of the tournament. He's about the only former Pirate, it seems like, that got snubbed of the tournament because Val Pinedo will be playing in the NCAA tournament tonight. Obviously, Bobby Pettiford Jr. and the High Point Panthers will be playing the Purdue Boilermakers at some point this week. Hopefully the Boilermakers will be on upset alert. And sorry, that's not the question you asked. I'm just rambling. But point is, everybody who transfers here goes to the NCAA tournament, except for Javon Small. He got hosed. Should have put the Mountaineers in.
And Brandon Johnson, because he was on one of the worst teams in the Power 4. But yeah, Javon Small, the best player of those that have left recently and not going to play in the tournament, even though he should have been in, but regardless. That is a story for a whole another hour. All right. We'll talk more NCAA tournament later. Lane Smith is in the chat. He says this not playing on TV crap is getting old and Flow Sports can kick rocks. He says also let's go 4-0 and make ECU baseball great again. And he says, Philip, I picked Duke to win in my bracket. Don't let me down. So we'll touch on all that. First, look, I love these minor league ballpark games in theory, but the fact that East Carolina now has multiple games in the year 2025 not on television is a little frustrating. When I didn't have kids and a wife who wants me to be at home to help put them to bed at night, I would go to all these games, so it wouldn't matter. But now, in many cases, with these neutral site games or these in-state road games, I found myself watching them on TV, Philip, to follow the game and follow the action. I will not be able to do that tonight. Look, that's great for 94.3 The Game. They'll get extra listenership. Dylan Johnson, Coach O, will do a great job. That's great for our advertisers, and I'm not going to complain about that. But at the same time, it is 2025, and fans expect to see almost every major college sport event, which at ECU, baseball is a major college sport event, on television. And this is already the third. I know definitely the second because both games at Fayetteville were not on, but I guess the Durham Park game was on TV too. So already the third game not available on TV. And sports games you have to pay $30 a month for. So I don't know. Where do you fall on this? The intrigue of playing these neutral site games, which is cool for those who can make it, but kind of frustrating for those who can't.
It is. Here's the thing. Coach Palumbo does a hell of a job making the schedule. And the only way you're going to get Wilmington or Campbell to play you 3 times, which, honestly, there are teams playing a lot worse midweek games than Wilmington and Campbell. These teams are teams who are consistently in a regional or close to making a regional. And not every team can say that. So, I know Campbell was not the one earlier, but we did do a 1-2-3 against Campbell a few years back. These neutral site games are just where it's going to be. It's unfortunate. I know. I understand the frustration, and I understand, I love to see people mad. That's good because it shows you how much this fan base really does care about East Carolina Pirates baseball, which is wonderful. But it's just how it goes. I think, in the grand scheme of the world, college baseball is still an unrevenue sport. And I think Coach Palumbo, if he could have it his way, he would find a way to make sure every game's on TV and none of them are on Flow Sports. And if Flow could do their deal where you could subscribe to Flow Sports as a whole and not just Flow Baseball and then Flow Basketball is another subscription, do every sport individually, maybe this wouldn't be as bad. So like you said, Flow Sports can kick rocks because they don't set their thing up correctly. And I get it's frustrating, but not that long ago, not every basketball game, not every football game was on TV. So, we're in a good spot that we do have to get upset when this happens. But look, making a schedule is a heck of a lot harder than I think any of us can comprehend. And it stinks that it has to be this way. But credit to Coach Palumbo for all the hard work that he puts in to make this schedule because we do have one of the more intriguing out-of-conference schedules in the country. And unfortunately, sometimes that means we're not playing on a great TV network, but hey, man, we're playing good competition. Wilmington's a good team, and I know it's not easy to take off work and drive down there, but hopefully a lot of the Pirate Nation can make it down there because it is a nice ballpark, and tonight should be a good baseball game.
Yeah, anytime East Carolina and UNCW match up, it is, to me, one of the best baseball games in the state, and there's a lot of good in-state baseball games, but I feel like these two schools pride themselves on baseball, and I expect a good one tonight inside Sager Stadium. Nick Moran set to get the start for East Carolina. He is a guy that has really pitched well in his last 2 outings. Liberty transfer, experienced guy. We'll see how long he can go. 5 shutout innings against VCU while dealing with the flu last week. He will face a much better lineup tonight. UNCW comes in at 10-10. The Seahawks have underachieved a little bit on the surface, but if you look at their schedule, they have played a very tough schedule. They played 2 against number 4 Georgia. They split those. They swept UNC Asheville. They did lose a couple of midweek games to Duke, Coastal, and UNC. They played at Southern Miss, which is ranked 20th in the country. They won 1 there and then lost a couple of close games. They won 2 out of 3 against a very solid Liberty team and then won 2 out of 3 this past weekend against Charlotte. So, battle-tested team, has one of the best players in the country in Tanner Thatch, who here drafted early in the Major League Baseball draft. He's got prodigious power, can really swing it. They're hitting .259 as a team. They are striking out a decent amount, 188 strikeouts at the plate, so they do swing and miss a lot, but they're very good on the mound as well. Their weekend pitching is really strong. Midweek pitching, not so much. They are starting Mason Murdock tonight. And I did some research. He has struggled, just 3 appearances, 2 innings pitched, and has given up 4 runs. But I was doing some research, Philip. No, he's in the mid-90s with his fastball when he's going well, low 90s, really good changeup. So we'll see what ECU's approach is tonight against Mason Murdock, but I'm sure it'll be a staff day for Wilmington regardless. I would expect the same for ECU. But, this is certainly a big midweek game for a team that really doesn't have a ton of RPI opportunities in the near future, maybe later this season for ECU, but UNCW, I think, in the top 50 in the RPI right now. So this is a big one.
It is a big opportunity, and you mentioned the staff day kind of for both teams, right? But sometimes with these midweeks where you do feel like the teams are evenly matched, it's about who can get that guy out of the game first. It's not because once the starter comes out, there's necessarily going to be a lot of fall off, but it's just because it kind of becomes a free fall once that first guy goes out. So, if we're getting caught up by that changeup and he can go through the lineup once and get them 3 innings, maybe 4, he's going to put his ball club in a good position to win the baseball game. On the flip side, Nick Moran has done that in his last 2 innings where he has been able to go through the opposing team's lineup once plus. and be able to put a little pressure on them. So we hope they can do that because, like you said, this conference does not present the RPI that it should. Rice is terrible. I can't believe they've won a College World Series in my lifetime. Wichita State is not what they're supposed to be. UTSA fell off a cliff when they joined the conference. Charlotte is not much better. And you got to win these midweeks, and it stinks because that's not where you're going out there and throwing the Ethan Norbys of the world. But at the end of the day, they all count the same. The midweeks count the same as the weekends. We could discuss whether that's right or wrong, and we could use a whole show in order to do so. But it is what it is, and you've got to win this one. You're going to have to win next week against Duke. As much as Duke has struggled, they're still a big ACC opponent that will play a very tough schedule to keep their RPI in a good spot.
All right, 6 o'clock, the first pitch for tonight. Again, Nick Moran will start for East Carolina. We'll see who comes in out of the bullpen. Maybe a little bit of an advantage for ECU from a pitching perspective, playing the doubleheader on Saturday. You did get that extra day of rest for the bullpen, as painful as it was in the time. So the staff should be pretty fresh going into Tuesday night's game. And we'll have some updates for you on hoistthecolors.net. And, of course, you can hear it on 94.3 The Game. Coverage will start 5:45 p.m. with Dylan Johnson and Coach Kerry Overton. And then first pitch right around 6 p.m. from Fayetteville. We'll get a break in. When we come back, we'll be joined by Alex Bouche, ECU starting shortstop. He'll talk about his season to this point, the team gelling as recent games have come and gone, and also get more into his background growing up in the area, playing Pitt County baseball, and his first year as a Pirate. That's on the other side. This is Hoist the Colors.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken and cook-to-order seafood and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master. Everything you need to know in the world of ECU athletics. This is Hoist the Colors with Steve and Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Back again to Hoist the Colors on a Tuesday edition of the program. East Carolina baseball having another 4-game week, riding a 5-game winning streak. Pirates took 2 at VCU and then swept William and Mary over the weekend. We're joined in studio by an ECU baseball player. He is shortstop Alex Bouche. Alex, welcome into the studio. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Pleasure to be
Yeah,
here.
Alex, we did an interview in the past for Hoist the Colors right after you committed. Obviously, we watched you at South Central. We watched you at Old Dominion play against the Pirates, and now you are a Pirate. We'll get more into your background later, but just what's it been like, man, these first few weeks as a Pirate baseball player?
Oh, it's great. It's great. The atmosphere is amazing. Just showing up to the field with a smile on our faces every day, knowing that the fans are going to be there behind our back. It's a great feeling.
Alex Bouche with us, ECU shortstop, and how the start to the year, Alex, for the team. I don't want to say it like rough, but I don't know, like it's been up and down, and then you guys are playing, kind of your best ball right now. Just what's it been like, kind of gelling as a team early on in the season, learning each other, and kind of coming to your own a little bit?
Yeah, I think we gel really well together. Obviously, there are a good amount of new guys, and I think the biggest thing for this team was there being a lot of new guys, but not feeling like new guys. We show up to the field and feel like we've been in the program for 3 years now. Obviously, the connection's there. We like to do a lot of fun stuff together, like go fishing, do all the stuff outside of the field that we can take our mind off the game and actually build a relationship with the guys we have.
Alex Bouche with us. What do you feel like has clicked for you guys, especially over this 5-0 week? Like, what can you sense the difference, or is it more just, I don't know, executing in some of those moments that make the difference between winning and losing?
I'd say it's just trusting the little things and being committed to our process. Obviously, kind of had a problem showing up to the field every day consistently. And I feel like we did a really good job with that this week, and just showing up and wanting the urge to win at the end of the day.
Cliff Godwin's talked about that. He's like, if you guys show up every day as a team, y'all can play with anybody in the country. And, for people who haven't played baseball before, maybe they don't understand how hard it is to do that, because y'all play a lot of games. Y'all have been dealing with sickness, which we can talk about as well. Like, it's not as easy as it seems to be 100% locked in. So, like, I don't know, do you have to have some learning pains as a team to, like, I don't know, realize that before you make that adjustment?
I would say a little bit, but at the end of the day, consistently, he talks about we're not going to feel our best every day. It's more mentality and just going out there and putting your best foot forward and playing hard and going all the way to the wall at the end of the day. 5-0
week, Alex, and y'all had big runs at VCU. You win those games by 10-plus runs. You win the first 2 games against William and Mary by 10-plus runs. But you wouldn't be easy, man. You had to face at least a little bit of a test. So I thought it showed something in the second game of the doubleheader Saturday. Like, you get up 6-0. I was like, all right, we're going to roll again. They come back and, kind of punch you all back. And what did it show to kind of bounce back and still find a way to win that final game, complete the 5-0 week?
Definitely the grit that this team had. I think it's good to face adversity in the end. And obviously winning a college baseball game isn't easy. I think it showed a lot of fight in the guys and not being complacent after being 4-0 to start the week. In that final game, we wanted to close it off with a good one.
For you personally, how do you feel like, your season's gone? We'll talk about playing shortstop and that sort of thing, but at the plate and everything. How do you feel like you've done this far?
I think it's going well. Still getting comfortable. Obviously, we've been swinging the bat really well the past 3 games, and kind of at the end of the day, just committed to the processes that they give us and the plans that they give us pregame.
You got a safety squeeze bunt in as well. Was it 3 for 3? I think in the final game. So pretty good day. But did you do much bunting at ODU, or is that kind of the new thing for you here at ECU?
It's definitely a new thing here. We didn't really bunt a lot at ODU, and kind of just going with the program and adjusting my game to fit in here.
And look, I mean, that's ECU baseball, and that's why they won. Like,
for sure,
it's one of those things. You got to be committed to the team, but you got it down pretty easily.
Yeah.
So, like, you feel like that's gone pretty good. That process of learning to bunt and in those situations.
Yeah, for sure. I know Coach P does a really good job at teaching us what to do and how to do it in the right situations, and he gives us a good plan to succeed.
Going back to shortstop, which you started at ODU as a freshman and then played some first and third. So, what's it been like, kind of moving back to the old home, so to speak?
Oh, it feels great. Just to be able to go back out in the middle of the field and kind of control the game and have your teammates build off you and you build off your teammates, it's a great feeling.
And it seems like watching it, Alex, like as an infield, there were some moving parts early. Colby was at first, and you've played some first late in games as well. Dixon's played some short, so y'all can still move around. But, like, when it's Colby at third, you at short, Dixon at second, Austin at first. It seems like y'all are starting to kind of find that groove, so to speak. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say the connection's there. We do a really good job of communicating during the game and just making sure we're in the right headspace throughout the whole game.
Who are some of your teammates thus far, Alex, that have impressed you? Just 16 game or 20 games into the season, with the mentality, work ethic, that sort of thing.
Definitely at the top of my head, Braden Burris. I think he's a dog. He just shows up the field every day, just a gritty blue-collar player, and just wants to win at the end of the day.
When he's setting the tone as the leadoff hitter, I feel like that just gets y'all going, man.
Oh, yeah, it's electric. Seeing him up there work a 3-2 walk or a leadoff base hit, it just knows that we're going to roll and we're going to be behind him.
Alex Bouche with us, East Carolina shortstop. And, Alex, early in the year when you were playing North Carolina, when you were playing Coastal, I said y'all were basically one hit away, from winning a game here or there, like the 2-0 game in Durham. I think it was 3 straight innings, bases loaded, or guys in scoring position just didn't get the hit. And then same thing in the series finale against Coastal. How much did y'all learn from those experiences playing really good teams and knowing you were right there, but just maybe one pitcher, one hit away?
Yeah, it kind of shows how little something can affect the game. One play, one pitch can affect the outcome of the game. And we were right there, but it ended up not going our way, and just a little adversity teaches us how to just keep fighting and keep going.
Looking at the week ahead, Alex, you guys will be back in Fayetteville. We'll start there Tuesday against UNC Wilmington. How do you like playing in these minor league ballparks first? Is that
I think it's cool. And I really got to do it my first 2 years of school ball, and just being able to go play at these places and having it feel like a true home crowd like we're playing at our stadium is electric for sure.
Yeah, like Gardner-Webb, I know it wasn't a huge contingent, but there was a lot more ECU fans than Gardner-Webb. We'll see what it looks like against Wilmington. And it'll be interesting. Y'all have familiarity playing there already, so you think that'll help at all?
I think it'll help a little bit.
Yeah. 6 o'clock, first pitch, I believe, set Tuesday, and then you guys will host Memphis going into the weekend. Are you ready for conference play coming up this weekend?
I think we're ready. It's kind of been a long time coming. I think it started in the fall. That's kind of where you determine your season, how hard you work in the fall, and your mentality going through it. And I think we're ready to roll.
Alex Bouche with us, and we'll get into his background here in a little bit about South Central. And look, I'm a Conley guy. We'll talk about that here in the break. But you and Dixon Williams, now the middle infield combo. How's that process going with you guys? We'll talk about the Conley rivalry in a minute, but connecting on good terms right now.
No, growing up in high school, we were always close, but never really like that close. And then kind of this year coming back, kind of just became best friends, and obviously it helps him being my roommate, so we're with each other every day. But no, he's just a great person to be around and great leader at the end of the day.
So Dixon, the first time we had him on the show, he showed up to the wrong address, but you got here right this time, right?
Yeah. Showed up at the right place.
Make sure to give him some crap for that for me.
I will.
All right, we'll have Dixon Williams on again here shortly, and then we'll have more with Alex Bouche after this. We'll get a break in. We'll come back. We'll talk about Alex's background, his time at South Central. Read you through a perfect game in high school, so we got to talk about that and more with Alex Bouche after this.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
Looking for a great deal on a new Nissan?
At Greenville Nissan, we've got a great selection of new Nissans for under $30,000.
The stylish Nissan Sentra, offering top-notch fuel economy. The Nissan Altima, known for its comfort and technology.
The Nissan Kicks, the perfect combination with its compact design and performance. The Nissan Versa, delivering incredible value without compromising on features. And don't forget the Nissan Rogue, an award winner for 10 years in a row. Drive it home just for $22 down and $349 a month.
Visit GreenvilleNissan.com today.
Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt & Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt & Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
Pirate fans, 2025 East Carolina football season tickets are on sale now and can be purchased for as little as $115. Head coach Blake Harrell wants you to be a part of his first full season as the Pirate coach as he builds momentum off of the 8-win season and the Military Bowl win over North Carolina State. Call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com today to get your 2025 season tickets.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! We're live with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Hoist the Johnny Roger!
Now, back to Hoist the Colors.
Welcome back into Hoist the Colors on a Tuesday edition of the program. We got Alex Bouche, full disclosure, in here on Monday. They're traveling to UNCW as you listen to this, but we're recording it ahead of time. Alex, good enough to join us via the 23 Club NIL initiative for East Carolina baseball. So appreciate his time and appreciate the 23 Club support of the program. All right, Alex Bouche with us, and we talked a lot about the current season, Alex, but let's look back at your time in high school. South Central High School, D.H. Conley, and look, Rose is out there too, whatever, but they're pretty darn good. RV's a legend. But Pitt County High School baseball, man, it was the real deal. So what was it like being a part of that?
It was cool. Coming in my freshman year, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know the amount of rivalry or competitiveness that went on coming to Pitt County schools to play baseball. Then coming in after my freshman year, it's like, oh, okay, this is how we do ball down here. And then kind of got used to it, and then it was fun ever since then.
So your roommates with Dixon Williams, who was obviously good at Conley. You were really good at South Central. Y'all were in the same class. So how much do y'all still go back and forth over that, like Conley South Central days?
Yeah, we talk about it. Early on in my high school career, he used to get us every time, and then my senior year, we came back and beat Conley twice that year. So it was kind of like a little revenge at the end of the year.
Yeah, and you pitched a lot that year, right?
Yeah. Yes,
so
sir.
We see the hose at shortstop. So I'm guessing you threw pretty fast on the mound.
Yeah, it was a good fastball.
Yeah. Did you have much of breaking stuff, or was it mainly fastball?
Yeah, actually, my fastball wasn't even my favorite. It was my slider.
Okay.
I really like throwing my slider.
Did you do any pitching at ODU, or just mainly position player?
No, sir. I got there and just focused on hitting and playing the position.
Do you ever ask like AK, like let me get on the mound?
I mess with him a little bit and then kind of just talk about it and then rub it off.
Okay. Well, hey, maybe one day we'll see Boucher. We'll let you do the Colby Wallace effect. That's pretty impressive too, man, to see what he did Saturday, right?
It is. It's electric knowing that he can play third the whole game and then come in and give us a really good outing. It's definitely reassuring.
It's crazy, man. So I want to say Dixon said y'all faced off with each other, and he maybe got you once, but you struck him out a few times.
Yeah, I remember one at bat. It was late in the game at our place, and I was facing him. And I got the first two heaters by him, and then I wanted another heater by him as like an ego check, and then he had a single. I think it might have been a double to left field, and then he got me there. So.
Well, hey, it's hard to get him every time.
Yeah,
but he's pretty good. But it sounds like you got the best of him a few times as well. South Central Conley. And so you grew up, in Chesapeake? Is that what
yes,
your
sir,
hometown?
Born and raised in Chesapeake, and then I moved down to Winterville my second semester of freshman year.
Okay, so obviously played at South Central, and then recruited by ECU out of high school a little bit as well, and then Old Dominion you go originally. So take us through, your recruitment. I'm guessing was pretty intense, and choosing to go the Monarchs originally.
Yeah, coming out of high school, Chesapeake, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia was kind of everything I knew, and I was talking to them and ECU, and they gave me an offer, and it was one of the things like I knew like I wanted to go play back at where I was from, because I really missed it a lot, and then chose to go there my first 2 years and entered the portal and came to this beautiful place and this beautiful school and wouldn't take it for granted once.
Alex Bouche with us, and so you hit a homer last year against ECU, right? It was off Norby?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that had to feel pretty good at the time. But what was it like seeing Norby do what he did a couple weeks ago, man? Like, is that I like watching it, covering the game? I'm like, I've never seen anything like this.
It's electric. I've never seen anything like it either. He just went out there, flooded the zone, and his stuff was on. And I mean, words can't even describe it at the end of the day.
Man, you I guess you got some brag rights over a few players. So do you ever give Norby any crap either for him to take him deep?
We kind of get after it a little bit. I try not to kind of like live in the past and kind of just get on under his nerves, but I feel like it's always there.
You got to have some fun with it, and that's part of the relationship building, obviously. When you entered the portal, was there like any? I mean, I'm sure you had other schools reach out, but it was like always ECU once they reach out.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to come back home, especially going to high school here, and my family has been here, and it was a lot easier on my family to come to the games, and just knowing what this program has done in the past and how they handle their players and develop them into grown men, it was kind of like a no-brainer for me.
You had a pretty early big moment with the walk-off home run against George Mason. So what was that like?
It was cool. It was really cool, especially just doing it and kind of having that be your first moment at your new school. It was definitely unreal for sure.
The right field, like when the wind's blowing out, I mean, it's like a jet stream, but when it's blowing in, it's like nothing leaves. So it's almost like there's no in between. So what's that been like, learning to maybe use it to your advantage, but also it's like you can't try to do it?
Yeah, you definitely can't overthink it. Obviously, you see it, it's tempting, but at the end of the day, it's kind of going in the box and just trying to put a good swing on it and kind of not swing for the fences is kind of the ideal.
No doubt. And you guys have had, a lot of success here recently, but y'all did it with, I mean, I think Cliff said you dealt with the flu or whatever was going around. So, especially against Coastal, I want to say it was starting to hit you. So, what was that like this past week? He said you had to take multiple buses up to Richmond.
Yeah, me, Dixon, Seawall rode on a van to Richmond. They kind of put us kind of in the same hotel room so it wouldn't spread. It was definitely a little adversity, but I think the guys showed up this past week, not really worrying about the sickness, but kind of just going out there and competing and having that mentality of our body's not going to feel great, but we still have to do our job. And it kind of went off.
Gosh, almost like back in COVID times, like getting secluded and stuff. Well, glad y'all made it through. You feeling better now?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Did you lose any weight? He was saying, like, I guess Colby had lost some weight. Some other guys had lost some weight.
Yeah, there's some pounds shed, and I think Thunder's doing a really good job of getting us back on track and making sure we're doing what we need to do to stay healthy and be on the field.
After really 5 games of 5 days, obviously, taking time to do this interview, but, like, it's almost like you want to get off your feet as much as possible and just get away from baseball because, like, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Y'all had the doubleheader, so yesterday y'all could rest up a little bit.
Have a little off day. Yeah, definitely recovery is big for sure, and I know CG talks about it a lot, and our trainer does a really good job of making sure that our body's healthy and whatever we need to get done to stay on the field or have a good practice, he's really good at that, so we appreciate him.
Y'all had Inky Johnson come speak, one of the best motivational speakers. What was that experience like?
It was unbelievable. Obviously, he's a big name, and you see all his stuff online. Just to have him in person and kind of have that deeper effect of the message and kind of just feel the presence of him, it was just amazing.
Speaking of that, I mean, Parker Bird goes viral for, I mean, every time he does something, obviously it's an incredible story. But the first hit and first RBI over the past week, Alex, we talk about like being sick, but when you look at Parker, everything he's been through, it's almost like, man, if he can do it, like I got to get my tail up and do it too.
Yeah.
What's it like having him as a teammate?
He's unbelievable. His work ethic, his mentality, and just never giving up and just always fighting for that next chance. his story is unbelievable, and he's definitely a motivation to all of us on the team. And just seeing what he can do, it kind of just gives us another edge.
There's no doubt. Incredible stuff with Parker Bird. All right, Alex Bouche off the field. When it's not baseball, what are you trying to do to have some fun?
That's a good question.
If
Recently,
you ever get the chance
me and some of the guys have been on a fishing kick recently.
Okay.
So we're trying to go catch some largemouth bass, and if not, it's just going out to dinner with our teammates or just hanging out in general.
So do y'all do like the Tar River, or just like do y'all try to go somewhere else?
It's kind of just some hidden spots.
Secrets. You can't give away the secrets.
Can't
right?
give away the secret spots.
So last year we had Cam Clonch. I don't know if you know him at all, but he was big into hunting. Are you a hunting guy or just a fishing guy?
Just a fishing guy. I've never really gone hunting or anything. Kind of just gone out there, cast a line. It's peaceful. You get to clear your mind, and I think that's a big thing playing baseball. You see a lot of guys get stuck in just the game and not being able to have a life away from the game and just being yourself. And I think it's really helped a lot of guys out this year.
No doubt. It can be a mental grind, obviously, along with a physical grind. Speaking of mental grind, playing MLB The Show can be one, too. Learn how to hit in that. Dixon Williams always talks about, man, when the game comes out, he feels like his at-bats get better because like we were talking during the break, it's like live BP. Have you experienced that yet?
I have not experienced that, but every day we get home, he talks about grinding MLB The Show and how he's seeing the ball better, so I might have to give that a try.
Okay. We'll report back. We'll get you on later this season. We'll see if it's helping at all. Do you watch, like, outside of when you're playing baseball, do you like watching the majors, or do you try to not watch baseball because you play it so much? I don't know. How do you approach that?
I wouldn't say I try to avoid watching it. I'd say watch little YouTube videos about like all the games that have been going on, just kind of like a recap, because obviously our schedules are difficult to watch a full baseball game. I definitely try and watch because obviously you can learn a bunch of things from a bunch of different people and kind of just adding that to your game. So I'd say it's definitely an advantage at the end of the day.
Did you have any favorite teams growing up?
I'm a big Boston Red Sox fan.
Okay.
So
Philip's your guy then. He's also a Red Sox fan. Y'all have to talk about that. Do you have a favorite player?
Right now, my favorite player is Bobby Witt.
Okay.
I think the way he approaches the game and just how hard he works it can definitely motivate a bunch of people and just kind of build their game off of him.
No doubt. He's a stud, man. He's a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, I'm a poor Seattle Mariners fan, which we have some good players, some great pitching, but it's tough. Either way, Alex Bouche with a few more things. We'll get you out of here, man. So another big week ahead. Obviously, we talked about conference play, UNCW, and I'm assuming you know kind of what that rivalry is like, even though you haven't experienced from the ECU perspective. Mm-hmm. Just playing them the first 3 times this year, how excited are you about that?
I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be exciting. I think it's less focused on who we're playing and kind of just how we're playing our brand of baseball. Because if we play our own brand and stick to what we know, I think we can compete with anybody in the country.
For you and your teammates, is that the main focus right now? Continue to grow together as a team. Is there anything Cliff wants y'all to work on as a team? From a hitting or pitching perspective y'all have hit on, or is it more just about the mentality right now?
I think we're all talented. I think it's at the end of the day, it's more about the mentality and just continuing to show up every day and continuing that competitive edge and just showing out and just being ourselves at the end of the day.
He is Alex Bouche. Alex, we appreciate the time, man, on today's show. Best of luck this week. We'll get you back on again via the 23 Club, but it's been fun.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. That was Alex Bouche. Again, we'll have him on along with some of his teammates throughout the rest of the season. We'll be right back. This is Hoist the Colors.
It's time to bring on the savings at Greenville Toyota with huge discounts on over 125 new Toyotas, like a Camry $269 a month or RAV4 $339 a month. Now bring yourself to Greenville Toyota and save.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed, meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Everybody loves Tiebreakers.
big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Your roof is a vital part of protecting your home and family from dangerous storms and hurricanes. At Assist Roofing, we install and maintain metal roofing that provides precise protection. Add value to your home while lowering utility costs with a fortified roof to last a lifetime. With 0% financing, grants, and Energy Star Green Roofing tax credit available. Call us to schedule a free consultation so you can weather any storm with confidence.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Get ready, because it's time to bring on the savings at Greenville Toyota. Get huge discounts on over 125 new Toyotas, like a Corolla, $239 a month, or Tacoma, $349 a month. Bring on the savings today at Greenville Toyota.
Climb aboard as we set sail and hoist the colors.
Arr, matey!
Back to the show with Steve and Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Hoist the Colors, final segment here on a Tuesday edition. Appreciate Alex Bouche stopping by the studio for a couple segments and the 23 Club NIL initiative for ECU baseball through Team Boneyard. Great stuff there. Of course, we've had Dixon Williams, Sean Jenkins on. We'll get those two gentlemen along with Alex Bouche back on and a couple of more players throughout the season with the NIL initiative through Interbanks Media. All right, let's discuss. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to do some NCAA discussion here in a minute, but we got a few questions from the listeners and a specific Boston Red Sox question. So Robert Matthews wants to know what's up with Rafael Devers, and I kind of have the same question because, Philip, I just drafted Alex Bregman in my fantasy draft. I think Bregman's going to kill it either way. I do want him to play some second base to get position flexibility for my fantasy team selfishly. But what's going on with Devers not traveling with the team, to Mexico? And it sounds like he's not thrilled about Bregman taking his third base role, potentially.
No, it's ever since the Bregman signing, it's been a little awkward amongst the front office and Rafael Devers. We probably should have Dom on to go a little deeper into this, but it comes down to the fact that this was not ever to get Rafael Devers out of the lineup, but Devers has not been a phenomenal third baseman. Yes, he's a really good hitter, very good clutch hitter, but there was a potential of him moving into a more often DH role. Not saying he was going to be at the DH position every day because, again, Bregman was going to play some second. We've had some guys, prospects over the last few years come up that were supposed to be second basemen that did not really work out. But he said, I'm the third baseman of the Boston Red Sox, and this is my position. And it sounds like he's not really wanting to budge on that. So it's going to be interesting to see how the team does this. But, yeah, this 2-3 day trip to Mexico, he's not on amongst due to some trade talk. So we'll see what happens. I hope they can find a way to keep them both. Maybe they just got to keep Bregman at second. But, yeah, it doesn't look good. I wouldn't be surprised if he's traded between now and opening day, not traveling with the team. You know, sometimes that means a lot. Sometimes it means a little. You never know. Like I said, Dom would probably be a little more knowledgeable on this than I am, but he's better at keeping up with his teams, whereas I'm better at keeping up with the overall scope of sports.
Yeah, Look, I'm not going to go into a full Red Sox discussion here, but, like, if you're Devers, you've already signed a 10-year, $300+ million deal. I mean, don't you just want to win at this point? I don't know. Like, I mean, does it matter that much? To me, signing Alex Bregman makes the Red Sox a much better team. Like, get your butt out there and play, man.
I agree. I agree with you. And look, I'm always a win first guy. But with that being said, when you're getting paid $300+ million, you expect to be in the lot. You expect to play defense too. You don't expect to get paid that just a DH. Fair. Historically, guys have not done that. So, I do understand that side of frustration, but still, like, come on, man, let's just go ring chasing. It's all that matters.
And then quickly, Jake Pollard wants to know our thoughts on Rice hiring former Texas coach David Pierce. Hopefully Rice can become relevant and become a regional team. He adds the AAC needs it. Yeah, I think long-term it's a great addition. Look, we saw him in Clark LeClaire with Texas Super Regional. And it is odd to me, Philip, that he's taking over midseason. He's going to coach the team this week as they get ready for AAC play. But I think their talent needs an upgrade. I doubt he would have taken the job without an NIL commitment. So I think long-term this is significant. In season, I don't think it makes a huge deal. I don't know if you have anything to add here.
No, I think you know that it's not going to mean much now, but it's going to let him get in and establish a culture. So when that portal opens up right after the season, he's going to be there ready to go. It's good to see an experienced guy going to a place that does have history. Yes, it's not recent history, but this is a team that can be very good in college baseball. And he's a coach that's already proved that he can be a very good college baseball coach. This could be a great marriage. Hopefully Rice hangs with the Pirates next year and we have some competition in the AAC.
ECU will play at Rice, not this weekend, but next weekend. All right, NCAA Tournament Talk. By the way, we just posted on Hoist the Colors our bracket challenge. The winner of our bracket challenge gets a full-year VIP subscription to Hoist the Colors. So if you're listening, go check that out. I just posted on the message board right now, and we run that every year. So it gets underway tonight. It's the first four, although like Philip and I were discussing earlier, the true tournament doesn't start till Thursday, but some big intrigue here. North Carolina, San Diego State, 9:10 tip-off on True TV. Tonight, you'll have also the 16-game St. Francis. Valentino Pinedo watches on as they take on Alabama State at 6:40. So I may just tune in to the end of that to see what Val is doing. And then also the North Carolina game. It's heavily intriguing. San Diego State, a tremendous basketball program. Philip, I will be tuned in tonight in an otherwise time I usually don't watch, but any thoughts on tonight's North Carolina game? And I have the feeling whoever wins this team, much like past first four games, is going to make a run.
Yeah, I think so. I think these are both, Carolina, they're peaking at the right time. I don't think they're really a great team, but they're playing well when it matters most. San Diego State's been pretty consistent all year. They did lose a little earlier than they wanted to in the conference tournament. They lost to a pretty solid Boise State team. It is a cross-country travel for San Diego State, which you got to worry about. However, there's nothing new. In 2015, they came across the country, had to play in an 8-9 game on a Friday afternoon, did win that. That game was played in Charlotte. Of course, a few less days, though, to prepare for this trip to Dayton. But, hey, man, Mountain West teams always seem to be perform very well in these first four games. So we'll see what happens, but if I'm putting my money on Carolina if I had to bet.
San Diego State, they did beat Houston earlier this year, so they certainly have the capability of knocking off a team of North Carolina's caliber and talent. As we look ahead to Thursday, Philip, and we'll expand more on this in the coming days, but are there any games that you're just salivating? I don't know if that's too strong of a word, but just really, really looking forward to as we get ready for the first round. Just because, it's hard to choose just one or two, but one that really has your attention.
Yeah, I had to look up whether this game's actually on Thursday or not, but I'm McNeese Clemson. I know it's the kind of the cliche answer to give, but does McNeese's coach already have one foot out the door and one foot in Raleigh, or are they really ready to go on and take on a tough Clemson team that really does deserve to be here and deserves to be a 5 seed and can make a run in this tournament, I think. But McNeese, man, they're the sexy number 12. There's always one every year. Not that 12-5 matchups aren't always good, but this is a team that you feel like could win. And then even the other game paired with that Purdue High Point game, Bobby Pettiford Jr. and this High Point team can really shoot the ball. Now, the problem is when they get cold, they get cold. That can worry me. But Purdue, hey, they've been known to be upset early in this tournament before.
I have my eye on a couple of games on Thursday, and yeah, you could have gone Thursday or Friday, but just the first round, I've got Louisville-Creighton, and this will be going on during our Thursday show, 12:15 tip-off on CBS, so one of the early games, obviously. I've got Louisville, as of now, going to the Sweet 16. I'm not sure if I have them further than that. I have to double-check my bracket, but I know I have them beating Auburn. So we'll certainly be watching that game against Creighton, which Creighton is – look, the scary thing about picking an 8 seed to make a run, Phillip, is they could easily lose that first game. And that's always the trick. Like, it sounds so good in theory. Like, yeah, Louisville could beat Auburn, but can they even get past Creighton is my question. It's like, it's just not – there's no gimme games there, like unlike if you're taking a 1 versus 16.
Yeah, the funny thing is we were talking about some of this yesterday with Chris. This doesn't feel like the year that you're going to pick a team to win the national championship and they're going to get beat the first day. It feels like you're going to pick a team to get beat the first day and they're going to make the Final Four, right? It's going to be you're going to have a loser of an 8-9 game that ends up making a run. And same thing, if you pick McNeese, I think Clemson could make a run. Clark Kellogg has them in the national championship game. That's a little crazy, but they could make a run as well. You got the Georgia-Gonzaga matchup. Georgia has proven they can beat good basketball teams, not as consistent as they want to, but they're a good team. Gonzaga, you always got to watch out for them in terms. So I'm with you there. It's like, man, if you pick a team to go too far, they could get beat, but you don't pick them to go far enough, and you could be sitting there going, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
No doubt. Cannot wait for Thursday. I will have it up in the studio as we do our live show come Thursday. Really looking forward to the tournament action getting underway. All right, we are out of time on this Tuesday edition of the show. I want to again thank Alex Bouche for coming in and doing our interview yesterday before they hit the road for Wilmington. And the Pirates will be again underway tonight in Fayetteville at Segra Stadium against the UNC Wilmington Seahawks. 6 o'clock, first pitch, coverage right here, 94 through the game. You can't watch it on TV, but you can listen to Dylan Johnson, Coach O on the call. 5:45 pregame, 6 o'clock first pitch. So we'll have the coverage for you there. Then tomorrow at 12 noon, we'll recap the game. We'll also talk more NCAA tournament, dive more into ECU baseball as well. Wednesday, 12 noon. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening.
This has been